research in general, all types of health. Drugs, herbs, homeopathy, energy medicine, buck remedies, kitchen remedies, folk remedies. I go all the way back to Hippocrates and beyond. And so the basic principles of medicine, the most important one is, first, do no harm. Now I could get you all nice and sick with what we've got here, and I can get you well, depending on what we do and how we apply what's here. Medicine is dangerous, so you do respect it, and people like this don't fully understand it. There are no precautions, package inserts, side effects, warnings, or anything. Also, a lot of their associations are with shapes and sizes, and you get plants that are supposedly evocative of certain things, and they will sell it just on that fact, and they will work. And usually the more expensive and the rarer the plant, the harder to get it, the better it's going to work. So we've got a lot of belief system mingled with science, with fact, and application. And I'm going to just keep it very informal, and we're going to have a fun talk about how and why, because you all know it from different angles. And please butt in and share your angles with me as we go. Artemisia. Interesting, here's Ethiopia. Now these people, there's not a sign of obesity, there's not a sign of ADD, there's not a sign of anything that we suffer from. Syndrome X, high blood pressure. It was very hard to show them a herb that could do anything. But when I pulled up a piece of bulrush, and you can see the one guy there chewing it, and I said, this is for X, Y, Z. For a happy mama, wow, they all dived down into the swamp, pulled up the Typha capensis, which is the bulrush, and they were chewing down there and getting all the testosterone absorbed under their tongue. And boy, were they going to have a good night that night. So medicine is different things to different people, but there are no harmful side effects in this case. They taught me things, I taught them things. Wherever Jim and I went throughout Ethiopia, there was just healthy, respectful people, beautiful people. But they didn't know that their most powerful asset was, in fact, the olive leaf. And when they said, well, they had family elsewhere in Africa dying of malaria, and I told them, do this, do that, they listened. We'll hear more about that later. I'd like to take you back to the roots of medicine. And this goes beyond Hippocrates, 5,000 years of Chinese medicine. They didn't have all the lovely facilities we have to test things. They took, and a lot of it was done just based on the most important principle about medicine is respect. Half of that is trust. You trust your medicine. You trust the person giving it to you. And you trust your body, because that is the healer. So all our medicines, all we can really do at best is facilitate this natural process. And plants, as I said before the talk, they're very clever. They survive because they can outwit pathogens. So why don't we share what they have to give us?
Simple feeling good is all this one.
You see, we're dealing with very, very clever entities here, and I think plants are conscious, even if we're unconscious of the fact. Now, I have a friend in Cape Town. He's a herbalist, and he's holding his Artemisia. So he takes this and he bundles it up with string. And when people come to him, half of the leaf is in level. The other half is in the use of the plant. But people like this, and Margaret Roberts and others, always, put the little leaves and swish it around the water, make a tea. Now, Juanita will tell you that doesn't work. You've got water extract, you've got alcohol extract, you've got dried herbs, there's powder. There are different ways of taking your medicine. And particularly with olive leaf, you do get a major difference between olive leaf tea and the real thing. Later on I'll show you what I do with olive leaf and why I haven't had a cold in. I don't have a bad memory. 20 years I don't do colds and flu. Because I know
Knowing who I am and what I'm here for.
Again, do you know about the Animate Protocol? You do. Okay. So you know that they teach people, grow it, pick it, dry it, and stuff some into a photo canister. You know when we had photo film, did you stuff it in there? Then you boil that in a liter of water, that amount in the bottle, and you drink it. So here I am diagnosing, prescribing medicine for Africa. Because every 30 seconds a child dies of malaria. That's why I do it, because I care. So I know we like to have all our quantified, qualified, evidence-based medicine. If your child is dying of malaria and you've got this in the garden, you just bloody well take it. That's what you have to do. If it's between you and the graveyard, are you going to say, I'm too good for that medicine and rather die? You see how complicated we make our lives? It's that simple. If you want olive leaves, the best species is here in South Africa, Ulian Hope. But this one is stronger because it is African. The climate is harsher here. We have more bugs, we have more parasites. This one you don't have to spray with pesticides. So we have to find places where there are no pesticides being oversprayed from the farms. It's easy to find. You just look down a watercourse and you will find this grown from Cape to Cairo. How many people know that this also lowers your blood pressure if you make tea? That's where the tea. The Spaniards only know make a tea from olive leaf and lower your blood pressure. They don't know all our other little secrets about this thing. And I can tell you so many secrets about olive leaf. They belong to all of us. It's our heritage. What is an olive branch? You know, what is the symbol?
Peace. Peace.
We all know that. And again, you know, with the association, I'm picking my medicine from the tree of peace. It's the gift to mankind. You've got the oil for anointing. You've got the fruit. You've got the wood, which is fabulous for furniture. Very exclusive. Ethiopia got huge olive trees. They're sitting under them and they're dying of malaria. Somebody's got to help them. You know, it's horrible. Here's a funny one. Bonita. What plant is that? And a herbalist uses it, and when a homeopath uses it, it's two distinctly different scenarios.
Yeah, I disagree with you.
Because homeopathy works with the hair of the dog that bit you. So the true folklore of this, and opinions are welcome. The story I learned when I was learning about homeopathy was St. John's wort, the wound of the spear. And they used this to heal. The side effects from this plant produced a similar effect. A stabbing wound, what I call the car door slamming on the thumb, for toothache, for neural irritation and pain. You take this plant and you potentize what comes out of it to make a remedy against the stinging side boiling effect. Now, my story is, I drank a tea made from this for the depression side and all that. I drank it just out of interest, like I do most things through my own personal laboratory to see what happens. What happened when I drank hypericum tea? Oh my God, my joints. Inflammation, what we call in Afrikaans, steekpynne. And then I said, no, wait a bit. What I'm reading about a herbal remedy is true. And this makes homeopathy beautifully true. If you eat onions and you cry, you potentize onion to stop watering eyes. So we have two things we can get out of every medicine. And especially homeopathy is the most elegant form of handling toxic plants. Snake bite. We have a remedy made from a spider called tarantula. So homeopathy and herbalism, there's a strange relationship, there's a middle story. Agreed at the lower tinctures, you know, the lower potencies, it does work for depression. I fully agree, I've used it. But when you take it up like that, you can use it for toothache far more effectively. So we've got a double advantage here. Let's ask the experts and use them. I'm just a housewife in the middle. A Constantia housewife who started one day in 1997 and made a hell of a lot of trouble with the MCC and the Medicines Control Council and the Dental Association. Because I said, why are you putting fluoride in our water? And we challenged them then. And because they couldn't answer it, we made fluoride-free toothpaste. So I'm afraid we do make trouble.
And I know that there's some real good times coming up to make you smile again.
The Zambian lady recognize that? Livingston Airport. Okay.
Wow.
Wow, there it is. And look how healthy your olive trees are. So that's what we
I was even trying to.
Yeah, outside Livingston Airport. And the lady at the airport said, "What do you mean that we got a special tree growing there?" I said, "I'll show you." And I gave her the notes and she said, "Oh, have you got a remedy for something?" And she looked at me. I said, "Yes, we do. Would you like the notes? Read them and make the remedy." And you think, "Oh, you'll never hear from them again." A few months later, she wrote us a lovely letter and said, "Do you know what? It did help me. And it did help my family." And there it is. Dr. Livingston. All we do is we take the equivalent of 7 dried almond leaves. I hope you're not listening. They come from the bushes. They get ground up and they get stuck in a tablet. But now we're going to have to sell them as sweeties. We can't tell people why they're taking them or what they do. But over the years, people who don't want high blood pressure medications have been on a weaning program with a lot of the doctors that we work with, and they wean down from the meds and they go up with the olive tablet. At the end of the 1 month weaning period, they've saved a lot of money, they find they've got no side effects, and do you know what? They don't get so many bouts of colds and flu. So then the doctors listen and say, aha, and a lot of doctors now take these tablets so that to protect themselves from the patients. So that's also, again,
Well, it's gonna be the start of a sunny day. Little breezes blowing the dark clouds away.
fair enough. I remember that when you come and have tea with me. So environment is important. Look where the plant is grown and you're going to get some clues. Another one is cloves. Eugenia trees, we've got a plenty grow. And cloves are from the eugenal family. The red berries are above the clove. The bud of the eugenia tree is a clove. Specialized in Zanzibar, wet, hot, humid, spicy climate there. Cinnamon. The reason these things all kill bacteria and pathogens is because they grow in wet, mushy, slimy, hot, steamy, disgusting environments. Just like inside your colon, where you're not growing good bacteria, the pathogenic ones take over. These herbs are the same, they can fight that environment for you. So there are the cloves in Zanzibar. That was lovely being on the spice room. Seeing, touching, feeling, all these herbs come to life. Here are your most important ingredients to get rid of parasitic cycles. From the eggs through to the major big parasites to the microbes. Now I've got cloves there at the bottom. Clove powder destroys worm eggs, second to none, and it's the cheapest thing in your kitchen. You're going to lock me up after this because I'm prescribing more medicine. And I'm saying go to Robertson Spices and not to the chemist. When you've treated your child for worms, they're going to breed again 3 weeks later. I know, I just go like this. And when the health magazines and all the doctors say, deworm your child once a year, I say, oh, what about the other, 52, 49 weeks? What are you going to do about those? They come back 3 weeks. Same with your pets. And then we put these lovely spot-on poisons on our pets. And the worms are back again. And then we lick our fingers and they lick us, and you know the rest of the story. Cloves kill worm eggs. Same. Ivy leaf, for obvious reasons, and the artemisia, for obvious reasons. Wormwood. So this thing gets rid of worms, and people are scared. I mean, there's a basic problem about worms. Am I going to meet it on its way out or not? In some cases, the worm disintegrates, it implodes. In other cases, it doesn't. But rather an empty house than a bad tenant. Now here you see what we do with olive leaves. Okay? All of you wanted to know what I do in my kitchen. Innocent, are you looking?
Oh, that is dishwashing liquid,
Dishwashing liquid, yes?
yeah?
And ivy leaf and ginger.
It's gonna be the start of a sunny day, yeah.
And dandelions, parsley, celery, wheatgrass, Lettuce is a lovely cough mixture. The latex in lettuce related to dandelion, they're all good cough mixtures. Liver cleaners, kidney cleaners. So this is not a dishwasher. This is a human washer. We call it jungle juice. And Nature Fresh staff are subjected to that at least twice a week. I make jungle juice out of all the stuff, chopped up in the blender in water the night before. And then we add probiotics. Sorry. So there is my torture protocol. It costs you a few $100 to get a blender and get a strong one. I'll break a jug like that in about 6 months. So I've got big glass jugs. In goes the water. Now you'll see there's a lot of stuff that actually comes from your kitchen dustbin, doesn't it? Well, my compost heap. The pineapple top and the skins go in. The lemon gets chopped up, skin and all. I grow the sprouts. Jumping the gun. We add liquid probiotics. I have a 15 strain that's specially cultured in KwaZulu-Natal. It's one of our self-empowerment programs for giving work, job creation. They grow our probiotics for us. And I've done 15 strains, not just Lactobacillus acidophilus, because that is boring, boring, boring. You've got far too much of that in your gut. And that's why Candidiasis and Giardia lambalis and all these hoppers burrow through your gut wall. They live on yogurt and Lactobacillus. So you've got to fight them with the full cycle of microbes. There's a big range of them. So we put in 15. They oppose each other with light and dark, acid and alkaline. They all loop each other, self-looping. So we put in the probiotic, teaspoon of that, into the jungle juice mixture, and we measured the TMA, total microbial activity. One night later, it had doubled. So you grow the stuff. If you've got a family of 6, you can grow it. You don't have to give one dose, you can grow it on. And for 2, 3, 4 days, we culture it in this. This is then for the probiotic, the prebiotic. I mean, have you ever heard of anything as silly as taking a fiber supplement? What the hell have you got teeth for? These people juice up all their mangoes and their bananas and their apples and everything, and then they take a fiber supplement. And then they wonder why they have blood sugar problems. We were designed to eat an apple because we've got teeth. I mean, in New Zealand are a noxious weed. They root them out. Stupid Kiwis. Stupid Kiwis. Ivy. Now, how many of you know this ivy, Hydera helix? On all the hedges?
It's a flower. Each plant shows different
Poison.
flowers.
Poison ivy. For years, people go, poison ivy, poison ivy. Oh no. Cough mixture deluxe. They've been selling it. Prospan is made from Hydera helix, old German cough remedy. They put sucralose with it, so it was also quite a good laxative. If you want to make your own,
Maybe you can tell me if I touch ivy, it dies.
you want. That's why we have it. Mint, lovely. Also a brain wakey. When they put mint through the air conditioners in a conference, people don't fall asleep. Good for that. Have we not got a belief system going about what's rhino horn made of? Keratin. If you think of all the associations we've got about that muti is the only thing that's going to cure my hangover. That muti is the only thing we can use for colds and flu. This is how they're thinking in Vietnam. They're telling lies. They want it for something else. They do. And in the Yemen, when we went into Saudi Arabia, the handle of the dagger has got to be made out of that guy's horn. How disgusting human beings can be. So we've got alternatives. That's what they really want. Tribulus. Unfortunate side effect, as you've seen there, is yeah. I don't know how to reverse it. I'm stuck with it. Chinese want everything bigger, longer, harder, stronger. And they are equally guilty of trying to murder a rhinoceros, and powder is more to try and enlarge their penis. Can you believe it?
What's that there?
And Viagra. Why do they want Viagra? It's accidentally, it was a heart medication. Why? Because the arteries and veins and blood vessels are so constricted, and you need, in hydraulic action, you get more liquid to pump up something, you have to relax the vessel so that more liquid comes in and works the hydraulic jack, as it were.
Sue, what's the herb?
This is the Divochidurum tribulus terrestris. And as we know, if anybody wants to take this one further, here is an open door for you. Measure it, do the trials. I think everybody in the MCC
it's an antioxidant, anti-inflammation, anti-anything, antifungal, and something. So if you are used to drink these two herbs, how even to give patients to, don't leave anything like ginger, like you know the.
There was a laboratory assistant. You technical people, you know what laboratory assistants have to sometimes do, is use their own blood as a control. He used his blood as a control and consistently did the coagulation tests. But on Monday mornings, his blood would not clot. And he was getting worried. And I said, well, what do you do in the weekends? I go to Mummy. What do you eat at Mummy's house? Crabtree and Evelyn, orange marmalade with ginger. Now, how much was in the orange marmalade with ginger? But his blood wouldn't coagulate on the Monday morning. So the MCC is trying to ban us from doing things that are happening almost by accident. But they will tell you when you have surgery, which of the herbs and things you give to patients work as anticoagulants, because you're not allowed to take them before surgery. So, gotcha. What are they? Arnica, St. John's wort. They tell us not to take a lot of things. Why? Because they are sick. One of the big ones is omega-3 oils. Ginger. Now you know. She says, don't worry, your mother-in-law, I've got just the remedy. Take Prozac, take Hypericum or Bacopa or anything. Bacopa sounds a good one to deal with mother-in-law when you can cope with it. But the moment you tell the doctor your problem, he says, do you know what, I've got just the thing. He's giving you hope. I'm an agony aunt. If I turn around and say, you know, you're fat and you're ugly and you eat crap, that's why you're feeling so awful. The person sits there hopeless, well, how can I cut out gluten? How can I cut out wheat? How can I get rid of parasites? How do I do heavy metal? I can't do that to them. I say, you know what? The first thing you do is you make this juice and you'll feel like the curtains have been drawn open. You'll feel ready to read about what else you can do. You've got to give them that hope. You can't take the hope away. But let's try and get them to hope more in the green, good, cheap, healthy, natural things. And you can make a lot of money out of doing that. You can make more money than trying to fight people who are legalizing toxic drugs and squashing you down. Give them hope. Substitute the dangerous with the safe. Make more money. Why not? So here we have ginger and pineapple. I've got a lovely recipe section on the Nature Fresh website. You can go to the links. I've done lots of very intensively researched articles for writers' hubs on the internet.
You go somewhere, you've got garlic and ginger, 2 tablets, you won't even experience any. Even someone who has got cholera, you just take 2 ginger and two garlic tablets, and then you drink. Even though you take that person who has got cholera, it won't even affect you. So it's good as to prevent diseases, and it's good even to work and build up your body naturally without any problems. For example, if you have got you know, the women with their cycles. Today it's 12, next month it's 18, and it will stabilize your day. It will just promote to stabilize your day, your days, or you know, to put it on one day. So ginger has been good for the women, even the muscle cramps, even the inflammation. It even, you know, for example, you are taking, you know, the boosters. For example, we want to boost up the immune system, and then.
But the ginger and the pineapple are delicious foods, highly medicinal. Just one thing with ginger, one thing about ginger. It has to be raw in order to kill the cold virus. End of story. The capsules, the powders, nothing works. It's a fantastic blood thinner. But when you've got colds and flu, please just go buy it from Pick and Pay Checkers or Woolworths. Anybody else want to be sponsored? Cut it fresh, take it fresh, it kills the cold and flu. And we've got lovely studies on that. So we can't sell that one, sorry. Or you can use ramen. Pineapple has got an enzyme which is unbelievable. The best anti-inflammatory on earth comes from bromelain.
Know how you feel tonight. Things aren't going right. It's hard. Yeah, it's hard to keep an open door. We're holding out for something more, for sure.